Good morning.
Kurska.
Switching phonics and language. Switching phonics and language. Wheelshk. Ganda.
Katruga skotla. Kumtabor gana.
Oog troika skot. Troika skot. Skuka draska.
Klun draska. Kof draska.
Troika. Skuka moska draska. Moska draska. Kuntagol. Skot moska. Klif. Skot braska.
Katruga pluf braska. Kunka troika braska.
Pluf ziba. Braska miska. Troika braska. Kake moska.
Skot pluf ziba. Skot pluf moska. Troika skot numa bluma sate.
Kunta kaf sate. Troika. Braska kake moska.
Skot minciaor. Wosh draska.
Age. Riol sis gratal. Iwol minsi aor.
Theodore, why wasn't the phonics and language set up on RK5?
I always have RK scan the creatures' language before I set it up. It's automated for accuracy, Timothy.
The thing almost destroyed RK before it was even able to speak. You have to be more careful in the future if you want to run this division without my supervision one day. I wonder sometimes if you truly are my clone.
But how else would I get the creatures' attention? It needed to speak before RK could decipher his...
That's something we'll talk about later, Theodore. Right now, we need to start covering where we are on the hierarchy of needs. Come, let's break this down.
A whiteboard? Did you not finish charging the holo planner?
It's been a crazy week, okay? The holo planner will be charged in a few days, so it's not that much of a wait. This was the only replacement I can get by today.
But it's a whiteboard. I didn't even know they still made these.
Well, they do. So let's move on. Got it?
Got it. This is experiment 141, correct?
Yes, and I have my recorder on so we can document this for our committee. So, Theodore, if you don't mind over-explaining this process, it would be much appreciated.
Yes, of course. So, this is experiment 141 of our integration using Maslow's hierarchy of needs as a base. The hierarchy of needs have 5 stages: physiological needs, safety needs, love and belonging needs, esteem needs, and self-actualization. Of course, we are using a streamlined, simplistic version of Maslow's needs, but the core of the study stems from the grander view of Maslow's theory. The study begins with the capture of one of the creatures that roam the remains of planet Earth, and then we present them with a series of scenarios to help them achieve each of the needs from Maslow. With our current experiment, so far the creature has achieved the usual set of needs the past subjects have. Timothy, if you wouldn't mind stating them.
Sure, Theodore. The creature achieved physiological needs because of the environment and supplies we left it to maintain basic survival, and the safety needs from the fake storm we conjured with the hollow field so that it is aware that the structure it is in is secure. Now, it needs to create love and belonging needs with our AI, RK5.
Exactly. We have set them up to bond over a project that they will need to cooperate to achieve, and hopefully that'll give the push we need for the creature to continue its successful ascension of Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Alright, the recording is off. Let's not get too excited, by the way. The last few subjects destroyed their RK unit. That might be the case with this one.
Maybe. But this time, I have a feeling in my bones. This time, it's going to succeed.
this is it. The project is done. The creature made it to the love and belongingness stage of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, but he still hasn't hit esteem or self-actualization. Surprised RK isn't broken yet. But it's still too early to tell. I have the gas set up as per usual, by the way, and the assist bolts just in case we need to use them. Hopefully we won't. But the test requires a brand new test subject to follow all the Maslow needs from start to finish, in order for the committee to accept our results anyway. Can't do that with the same subject, and we can't very well let it live out in the wild with the new knowledge we give it. Dumb things wouldn't put it to good use if we asked.
Watch. It's happening.
Draska si skuka. Vivo daska. Tuta akuta skot skuka. Draska kalota klip sukar. Draska sukar tuk drun munsta. Skot minska trojka ut skot braska.
Age, erk miska braska, erk trojka kake braska moska.
Ka ok ganda klip braska.
Kof,
Hunka.
erk skuka moska draska, to klun kof so.
Ok ganda klip braska. Erk flo miska braska.
Skot klun röst, sal klun reare, erk kof kuntagal, skot ivotom, skot ganda undin, kofo ganda droiga, god koshka kake hap.
Shka kof.
Koshka kake hap, koshka kake hap, koshka kake hap.
Well, Theodore, I guess that ultimately was a failure. I guess I know now that my clone needs a lot more supervision from me.
I was so sure we were on the right path. These creatures never achieve beyond belonging needs, Timothy, and we reached the esteem stage.
Just gas him and get it over with.
Gas released. Clearing up gas.
Well, let's not get worked up so much. Did you start the gas procedure?
Of course, you told me to.
And did you remember to send the assist bolts this time?
Oh, on it.
Assist box on the
I
way.
swear I have to remember everything for us. Theo, remember, the body won't get rid of itself once it's gassed.
Got it, Tim.
For the last time, don't call me Tim.
Well then, don't call me Theo.
Assist box returned to
Anyway,
base.
so let's move on to more important things now that the body has been taken care of. So, we both agree to mark this one as the usual failure, yeah?
Failure? Are you kidding me? He achieved the esteem need.
Come on, clone of mine. That was barely touched on.
That counts.
Theodore, we agreed earlier that the creature achieved physiological needs, the safety needs, and now love and belonging needs from the bond with RK5. But now you're telling me he hit esteem? How?
Do you remember his words before RK was destroyed? The subject said something like, "You are interesting but dangerous since I don't know your motive. You were a good friend." And then he destroyed him. The subject wasn't convinced by RK's interest in it because RK lacked a strong motive. We have a new avenue to pursue. We are onto something, and that is great.
The subject also started waving its weapon around and praising its god like a maniac. Those creatures are religious, Ben. A motive wouldn't matter. No matter what we come up with, it would probably have doubts if it didn't align with its god. Hell, the subject reminds me of the whole reason the world is what it is.
But what if we made a motive that did align with its god? Timothy, come on, we are onto something. We've learned our mistakes as a society from those religious wars. The religious angle won't be a problem once we can actually interact with one of those creatures' tribes. We just need to put our foot through the door.
Look, clone. let's be realistic for a moment. Of the 141 trials we've done, the first 100 were just for learning the different languages and phonics from the clans, so we can communicate with them. And that doesn't even count the first 20 trials where we failed to even capture a creature to learn from.
Were those first 20 really trials if we didn't even capture a creature?
The committee considers them trials, and that's all that matters in the end. Theodore, we are burning the midnight oil here, and of the 50 stations like ours positioned around the world, 20 have already been shut down permanently.
20 stations? I thought it was only 15 that were shutting down.
We received an updated set of figures before this most recent trial started. I was going to tell you about it soon, but that's not important. The point I'm trying to make here is that this may be the beginning of the end. I've heard rumors from the top of the committee that they don't think the Maslow needs theory even works because of how long it takes to receive reasonable results from these experiments. Other methods are being considered.
Other methods? What kind of other methods?
I don't know. Early talks have just started. What I'm trying to ask you is, are you sure you want to continue doing this? Theodore, you have to think about your future in the world of science. Please consider this carefully.
I have to keep going until the very end, until the committee decides to pull the plug. I truly believe we are making progress. I believe in our work, and besides, it's our responsibility to the human race to keep trying. We have to keep going as long as we can. Those creatures were once just like us before the wars changed them.
God, those things aren't even human. Anyway, they won't ever be. No, they may walk like humans, but as far as it goes, the only human beings left on this godforsaken planet are people like you and me. Descendants of the so-called life sphere. The only thing that saved us from this end of the world. But that's your decision, I have to respect it. Especially if you are my clone.
Why are you here, Timothy? You don't seem to believe in any of this. So why do you stay on board this station?
Because you need me. How else would you have gotten to work in a position like this on board an experiment station without my credentials? You're just lucky I admire your enthusiasm. Something I've completely forgotten to feel. I appreciate seeing it in you.
Then I guess you need me too. And who knows, maybe some of my enthusiasm will rub off on you.
Let's put the brakes there and not get too frisky. I do admire your enthusiasm. I'm certainly not going to match it.
Sure. Come on, let's get some lunch. I'm starving.
Lunch, huh? I could eat. I hope the cookbots have something good for once. I am tired of the usual garbage they feed us. Anyway, you really think motivation is the next step with these creatures?
Oh, absolutely. I have other ideas too. Maybe we should move forward with an RK unit that looks more savage like the creatures themselves. That could even extinguish the need for a motive. Or maybe having a trade between the RK unit and the creature will